Welcome on in, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us on CBS 19 Plus. I'm meteorologist Joel Robinson. You are taking a live look from Kingston Harbor in Jamaica. We're tracking Hurricane Melissa as it continues to gain strength. And it's set to make landfall any time now. In this stream, I'll walk you through the latest advisories, the projected path, and what impacts we could start seeing along the coast. Now take a look at this. This is brand new satellite imagery of Hurricane Melissa. You can see that really well-defined eye right there. Whenever you get that really well-defined eye, that shows that how intense this storm is. And again, we're looking at 185-mile-an-hour sustained winds. Derek Van Dam is in Jamaica right now, and we'll talk a little bit more about this. And then you'll hear from Bradley Blackburn on how people in the Caribbean are preparing.
This often happens with these large Category 5 hurricanes. They go through what's called an eye wall replacement cycle. So it cycles through an inner and an outer eye wall, and that grows the wind field, or the strongest winds, kind of in a concentric form. It expands the diameter, so that just increases the coverage of those catastrophic winds. So we'll be on the lookout for that, certainly. We are in Kingston. We're awaiting the unthinkable here in Jamaica. We are waiting for the inevitable landfall of this monster, slow, agonizing crawl, Hurricane Melissa, Category 5. And just want to give a bit of a scene set for you here. The mountains behind me, the Blue Mountains in Kingston, they tower over 7,000 feet. I'm going to get low here because this is water runoff on the roadways, but it's inevitably going to come from those mountains and funnel down into the city streets. And this is just a drop in the bucket of the communities that will be impacted by rising floodwaters, especially near the coast. When the storm surge right on that right quadrant of the hurricane comes in, it's going to be two opposing forces working together. The surge from the Caribbean Ocean and the inland flooding meeting together, and the ocean and the water just rising right along the coastline in the most vulnerable areas of the south-facing shores of Jamaica. So I just want to show you here some of the scene in Kingston. There are a lot of unfinished construction buildings, and we've been seeing the sheet metal swaying back and forth. As the wind picks up, we're often hearing the ominous noise of that hum. If you've been in a hurricane, you've probably heard it before. The sheet metal kind of hums as it vibrates. And those are the initial signs that the storm is picking up in intensity here, and we know it is. We see it on the satellite. We know what's coming. But this is the stuff that can become deadly missiles in the height of a storm. And with these catastrophic winds that will make landfall, any unfinished construction, sheet metal, rebar has the potential to really cause serious damage. That's why the National Weather Service warns of this complete structural failure, catastrophic wind damage, isolating communities for days. But when we talk about Kingston, I want to harp on the mountain ranges here, because this is what makes it so vulnerable. That water will rush down to the communities below. Flash flooding, landslides, and mudslides are potential across this entire country. There are so many vulnerable areas, but the western side of the country, this is where we anticipate that an inevitable landfall of the world's strongest storm to form in 2025. We are awaiting, praying, hoping for the best.
Millions in Jamaica are bracing for monster Hurricane Melissa, bringing the threat of forceful winds, catastrophic flooding, and deadly landslides.
She's slow and she's wide, so all areas of the island are expected to feel some impact.
Jamaica's Red Cross has set up shelters around the island.
We have been disseminating drinking water, cleaning kits, hygiene kits.
Local business owners boarded up doors and windows and piled sandbags.
We are just praying for the less worst to happen.
Stranded tourists are hunkering down in hotels. That includes St. Louis hairdresser Marnice Stewart, who's riding out her first hurricane at a Montego Bay resort.
They've been giving us care packages that have like cups of noodles, tuna sandwiches. Continue to pray for Jamaica.
The strongest storm of the year is also expected to slam Cuba and parts of the Bahamas sometime between today and tomorrow.
Well, I'm glad they are doing what they can to prepare. Yeah, this is a very strong storm, and to just kind of put in perspective how strong this storm is, we had Hurricane Katrina about 20 years ago now. That had peak winds of 175 miles per hour. This storm has peak winds of 185 miles per hour. So this is actually, in fact, stronger than Hurricane Katrina when it struck the United States back in 2005. But this is 3D imagery of Hurricane Melissa. You can really see that eye there. It's a very well-defined eye. It's slowly but surely making its way over to Jamaica at this time. Its track right now is north-northeast at 9 miles per hour. It's dumping 20 to 30 inches of rain. We got storm surge, and of course those winds cranking at 185 miles per hour. And there's a ton of energy still across this area. This is convective available potential energy, or CAPE. It's basically the amount of energy the atmosphere can basically take advantage of, or these storms can take advantage of to become even stronger. So you can see some of these bright colors here. That's some high energy there. And because the storm isn't really moving all that much, it's basically sitting over the same area of high energy, and that has allowed it to really increase in intensity here. And as it continues to make landfall over the next several hours here, we will start to see it weaken because of the surface friction, of course, and it's also running into what's called wind shear, which is a change of wind with height, and that can easily shred the storm apart. So again, we're watching for it to weaken into the next several days, so that is some good news there. There's a lot of moisture. Again, that's another ingredient that the storms need to keep their intensity and kind of keep their life going, but there's a lot of moisture in the track of this hurricane here, and so we do expect to kind of take advantage of this a little bit, but meanwhile, we've still got plenty of shear that it has to kind of break through. So by the time it gets to Guantanamo, we're expecting it to be a Category 3. And, you know, of course, that's in combination with the shear and, of course, it making landfall itself. The surface friction will start to tear it apart. So we are expecting it, again, to weaken into a Category 3 by Wednesday morning. That'll be tomorrow morning. So that is some good news there. We're going to continue to keep a very close eye on this as we continue into the next several hours, and we will again watch as this storm continues to track across the Bahamas, across parts of Cuba as well. We got some hurricane watches and hurricane warnings in effect right now, so that is some good news there. Hopefully everybody is heeding those warnings and watches here. And again, this is the track that is expected to take as we head into the next 24 to 48 hours. So again, we're going to keep a very close eye on this as it continues to track. We'll have some more coverage as we head into the next few days. And right now, you can see Kingston Harbor, the waves really starting to pick up there. We're expecting at least 9 to 13 feet waves as we continue to track this hurricane. So some storm surge, of course, going to be an issue. Flooding, 20 to 30 inches of rain just from the storm itself on top of the storm surge is going to be a likely issue. You can see some very choppy waves there. You can see down in the the bottom left-hand corner, you can kind of see there was a little bit of movement with the trees there with the plants. So the winds really starting to pick up there. The waves also picking up, just gloomy skies there as Hurricane Melissa continues to track. We'll have some more updates as the day goes on and, of course, as this hurricane remains in existence.